Hello, and welcome to Explore. I'm Charlie, and it's a great honor to have the opportunity to say hello and talk to people. And I'm here to just have a nice conversation, and feel free to ask me any questions you want. Just a way to kind of get to know one another.
We have one question coming in from Joe Bear. He says, thanks for all of the great cams and what you do to spread the love for the animals and nature. What do you have planned for Explore in 2015? Especially the bear cams, because that's his favorite.
Oh, I'm looking at the, what Joe?
Joe Bear, yeah.
Joe Bear. Yeah, I'm a bear lover too. It's funny, I'm looking at the polar bears right now. And I think one of the reasons why I love bears so much is their mannerisms remind me of just exercise dogs. I was just watching a polar bear digging, and I think when I went to the Arctic, someone might want to look this up and fact check, but I think dogs and bears are even related. For cameras for coming up this year, I'd love to get some suggestions for you. We have a really unique camera that's set off the coast of North Carolina, this like miles out on this former oil rig. It's called the Frying Pan, and underneath you can see sharks and barracudas, looking really into the ocean with reefs. There might be a potential orca cam. If I had a fantasy, I'd continue with the bears. Would love if we could ever see walruses, and love your suggestions. So please write in and tell me what cams you'd like.
Awesome. Mosaic World is wondering, before starting a film, do you consider whether a topic will be met with controversy? Is that a factor in choosing subject material for films?
Explorer's mantra is never stop learning. And ironically, subjects that are usually controversial are usually also the most one-sided in how the stories are told. One thing I've learned through my travels is there's always two sides to the coin. And it's really rare where one side gets to tell their story. And so I try to approach a project is Sesame Street for adults. I really don't try to go with a theory or a viewpoint, but just to absorb, to learn, and then to translate and share. And so you know that certain projects will be more controversial, but no, I don't choose them based on controversy, but definitely some have been more controversial than others.
Nan in Texas wants to say, no question, just a sincere and heartfelt thank you to you and your amazing staff for making the Explore.org experience such a joy to partake day in and day out.
Thank you, Nan. It's so great. That's Daphne, everyone, my daughter's dog, who will make camera shortly, I'm sure. Nan, I just want to thank you. And first of all, I would agree that it's really the Explore staff that makes things tick and work so well. So thank you also, Explore staff, if you're watching this, or team. And really, we do this for you and for everyone. And so sometimes with the internet, it's almost a bit lonely because I don't know who's really watching it or if it's connecting. And so to hear those compliments really means a lot. So thank you so much. That's a big Great Dane over there that's jumping on our couch, Lulu, who, oh my, look at this. There we got dog. This is truly Dog Bless You headquarters today.
Ange in Connecticut says, do you have any idea how many people's lives you have touched through your generosity? Both my children are learning so much, and they have learned so much about the animals through your cams. Thank you.
Again, life is interesting, and somehow I was dealt a deck of cards that allowed me to be able to help people, and really hearing from you and knowing that is really our currency at Explore. I mean, the purity of what we do and being able to reach out and affect people's lives is everything to us. So thank you so much. It really means a lot.
Deborah Turnbull says, thank you, Charlie. You have done more for animals than any one person ever. Do you still have Lucky, your golden?
Lucky, unfortunately, passed recently. We made it to 16 and a half. And what a great journey. Daphne, I have you. Hold on. Come here, baby. Daphne wants to be on screen. That's my daughter's dog. But maybe not.
Got another visitor, Charlie.
We have a Doberman Pinscher in the office now.
It's scary, your little dog.
Yeah, Lucky was amazing. I don't know how many dogs can say they came from the pound and made it to the White House. Yeah, and it is true. Lucky took a number 2 on the White House lawn. But no, Lucky's no longer with us. And he's greatly missed.
It looks like Polar Bears International has shown up on the chat, and they want to know the first time you visited Churchill and PDI hosted you. What did you think about the town and about the polar bear migration?
You know, anyone who has the opportunity to go to Churchill, Manitoba, and meet up with Polar Bears International and Frontiers North is really in for a treat. It's really a must. Arriving in the town and looking at that like beautiful but harsh landscape of the tundra it feels like you've arrived on Mars. And you know, the town itself is really unique. Recently, it was really funny. In fact, last Sunday I had a meeting with the police department, and I was telling them, you know, one of the most crazy things about Churchill is I think it's almost illegal to lock your doors in your car. I mean, where else do you have to keep your doors open? Because if you see a polar bear, you have to be able to run inside. And, you know, to look at the live cams really share almost the poetic justice of this area and these animals, but to see them up close and personal is indescribable. And you know, Polar Bears International, I mean, they're real champions. I mean, each year out there just really trying to protect and preserve and teach people about them. Anyone who can should go.
Samantha I, one of our favorite photographers, I believe, would like to know if you have any new projects on the horizon.
Well, first of all, Samantha, I've never got to thank you myself, but for anyone who's also on this live chat, if you look at the photos taken from the live cams, Samantha really has an eye where I sometimes feel your photographs could be in galleries. They're just amazing. So thank you for being so artistic and so supportive. We're looking at a variety of projects. Like I said, we've been interested with some live cams that deal with the oceans. There's some that are going to be launched relatively soon. This one off the coast of North Carolina called the Frying Pan, which is miles off the shore. We got a lot of dogs. And so they've been more ocean-based. I was kind of fantasizing about a walrus cam. We've talked to actually Jane Goodall about doing something with her. So things are in the works, and we'd love to hear from you what cameras you might like as well.
We have a couple suggestions coming in right now.
Sure.
Someone says they would love to see a beaver cam, and another person says maybe some cams out west to see our wild mustangs and burros.
Yeah. The wild mustangs are really fascinating. The difficulty with the wild mustang is that they don't stay in one place, and they're fast. So they're not easy to capture. The beaver cam, that's really interesting, actually. I was just up at the Vancouver Aquarium recently, and I was looking at the beavers, and they're just so playful, beautiful. I like that, the mustangs. And we love the Wild West. One of my favorite cams is the bison cam in Montana, because you really get that heartbeat of Americana.
Krista would like to know, what is your favorite behavior to watch on the polar bear cam?
Well, for anyone who doesn't know, Krista is one of the premier brains of Polar Bear International, so this could be a setup. But every time I look at these polar bears, I think they're just big, dogs. And so I always love their paws and the way they lick them and the way they start digging and, you know, the way they'll walk up to the tundra buggy and then get on there too and look at you. And it's really hard. I just always want to feed them because, you know, no one wants to see their dog hungry. But there's nothing not amazing. But I really think they're the paws and looking at their tracks and their nails. I don't know. But they're so majestic. The first time, you know, when I looked at a polar bear up close and personal, I felt like I was looking at a modern day Gandhi. It's like almost like these bears had gone on a hunger strike for humanity. There's something really evolved about a polar bear, and if the camera's ever close up, if you could just look into their eyes, it's amazing.
Tuppy Cat is wondering if we could see some big cat cams. She likes lions and tigers.
Ooh, yeah. You know, again, the difficulty with lion and tigers is that they're not they roam and they're highly nomadic. We have talked to this preserve in India about tigers, and we have gotten some requests. There's like I think it's a cheetah or a tiger preserve where, you know, animals that have been hurt that they restore, and so we're looking into it. And I too love the big cats, so I share that feeling.
Let's see. How do I volunteer to be one of Explore.org's camera operators?
I like you. That's great. You know, believe it or not, having really quality camera operators and people who are passionate is great. My suggestion to you, and I'll talk to the team, is to write in and tell us that this is what you want to do, and we'll take it from there. That's always been a delicate mix, but we'd love some quality volunteers.
We just had one of our camera operators pop in to say thank you, and that you've taken us to places we've never been before. We can be in 3, 4, or 5 places at a time. You've changed our lives.
Oh, well, thank you for your endless dedication. I share that feeling. A few days ago, I was on the Explore site. Not a few days ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, but I was looking at the brown bear camera, and here I'm looking at these brown bears, and, you know, it's the colors have all turned to gold. And then I'm on the polar bear camera, and I'm looking at polar bears. And I was like, where else in the world, live, could you be seeing 2 of the most majestic creatures at the same time? So I completely share your sentiments. And then I clicked another thing, and I was looking at a litter of golden retriever puppies that will one day be donated to service individuals, soldiers. So amazing.
May, who's a frequenter on our comment boards, is wondering if we could maybe do a Northern Lights cam in Norway, like the ones Earth Cam have from Iceland.
Yes, I like how you're thinking. You know, with the Arctic camera, with the current camera with the polar bears at night, we've even tried elevating the camera, and I think once or twice we've gotten a glimmer of the Northern Lights. I actually was talking to some people in Iceland recently about some of their cameras, and I've always wanted a Northern Light camera. But I do believe, and let me check into this for you, that even on this Arctic camera, on occasions, the thing about the Northern Lights is, you know, it's just kind of like with nature. They don't perform every night, so it's really not that easy to catch them. But there was one time where with the polar bear cameras, we turned them around so at night you could look up, because the Northern Lights do occur here as well. But I completely agree with your opinion on that.
Grandmaj is saying, not attempting to get too personal, but with all you do, how many days a year do you actually get to spend traveling? And then what do you do to relax?
I find when I'm traveling, I'm almost more relaxed than when I'm at home. It's kind of funny. But, you know, I travel a bit, but I also, you know, balance my time. And To relax, I'm an outdoors person, so I enjoy just taking walks or hikes on the beach or in the mountains. I'm kind of a fuddy-dud. I love to turn on, I have an old kind of Spanish-style home, and like now that winter's kind of setting in, I just love turning on the fireplace, and just reading a book is probably still my favorite thing. So it's always a balance, always a balance.
And just wondering if you have plans to incorporate the cams more into schools.
It was really funny. Recently, a really close friend of mine who has a wonderful project on the Explorers website, his name is Mike Prickett, and he had an unfortunate accident. He was saving someone's life scuba diving, got the bends, and he's unfortunately in a wheelchair right now, and we've been documenting his story. He came to visit me recently with his daughter, and his daughter told me that part of their homework was to watch the Explore cams and write papers. And I thought that was so neat. I know that a lot of schools use the Explore content. I myself haven't really figured out how to infiltrate the school systems. It's not as easy as it would sound. And so right now, what happens is a lot of teachers find us. One of my ideas, and I often call it Professor Charlie extra credit, is I tell the kids the opposite, to make, because they love the cameras, to make it so cool that to come to the school to the teacher and say, look what I'm learning outside of school. I'm doing an extra credit assignment, and to introduce it to them. So we're working on the schools, but it's harder than it looks.
I heard a rumor that Explore.org is coming out with a new website. Thank you for always bringing us new technologies and cams to enjoy. What kind of changes should we expect?
The website. One of the biggest things I was hoping to do is just even be able to comment while you're watching the live cams, or to be able to take easier photographs. What I would love, and if people would be interested, is if people would like to sign up, I would love if people would play with the beta site and really give us their honest feedback for a week or two, and give us your notes about what it is you would like, if you think it's simpler to use. Because at the end of the day, we're creating these tools for you. That's Daphne. And, it's interesting. Like sometimes I feel like I'm an old dog. It works. Don't change it. People are happy. So I would love if people would be willing to test the website as like a study group and really give us your honest feedback. And I know a lot of work and love is being put into it, and sometimes you get too close to it. So if anyone's willing to do that, it would be great help.
Awesome. What inspired you to do what you do?
That's such a straightforward question and such a difficult response. I think I've always just really enjoyed learning and teaching and trying to bring like minds together and sharing information. And years ago, I just always felt that storytelling and information wasn't always portrayed correctly. We live in such a soundbite culture, and we don't always get the real story. And more importantly, I've always just been in awe of people in the nonprofit field. I mean, they're the true selfless heroes of our society, and they get no credit. And I thought really creating a platform where you can champion their work and hopefully try to elevate their voice would be a great opportunity, because sometimes I feel like we live in a world with an upside down set of values. People who accumulate massive wealth, they're put on the high end, and people who are just dedicating every day of their life to try to improve the human condition are on the other end of the totem pole, and I feel like that should be flipped sometimes. And so it's just a great opportunity to go out there and just share other people's selfless works. They're the real heroes. I was just given the opportunity.
A lot of people are saying they would like to sign up to be a test subject for the website.
Oh, I would really, really enjoy that, and we will write out to you when we do that. I think an honest, objective test group who really love Explore, but we need your honest notes. I mean, feel free to be brutal or feel free to say you love it, because I'm too close to it. I honestly have told that to our staff. I'm very much like my old golden retriever that just passed. It works. I know what I like. I know there could be improvements. So I'd love to get people's feedback.
How many times have you visited Churchill to see the bears, and how long do you spend with them when you go?
You know, I've only been there once. The last 2 years evaded me, and I miss it so much. And that's what makes the live cam so amazing. I mean, as I'm speaking to you, I'm looking at these bears right now, and maybe because I've been there, I feel like I'm a part of it. I'm definitely going to try to make it next year. And I was so jealous that some of the Explore staff got to go this year. You know, I'm looking right now at this one bear sleeping, and it's just amazing. And I'm so happy that it looks like they're getting a nice Arctic breeze come in, and hopefully the ice will freeze soon, so they'll leave us and go home and eat.
Do you have plans to get a dog in your future?
You know, I don't know if anyone, I know a lot of people have had their dog pass, and it's just so painful, and you also compare it. On one hand, I'm blessed because the Explore office is filled with dogs. I mean, right now in the office, there's a Great Dane, a Doberman Pinscher, a Maltese, some type of Australian Shepherd. I think there's 6 dogs roaming. But it's still not the same, and I've been, slowly looking around. But it's so hard because you compare all the dogs with your former dog. But if anyone's out there, I think I still like the big ones. So like a big dog, a big golden. Doesn't have to be young, so I have a kind of a heart for the seniors. Newfoundlands, Leonbergers, St. Bernards. I've been, I don't know if anyone's like this, but I've been cruising around and looking at the sites, but I haven't found one, and it's probably because I'm so surrounded also by so many dogs.
Somebody, or actually a couple of people, heard a rumor that Explore will soon require viewers to pay to watch the cams. Can you confirm or deny?
Rumors. Well, I hope that's not the case. So I had some ideas. And I want you to know, before I ever did anything like that, I think it'd be great if we could all discuss it like this, because let's get something really clear. I am a steward for the public. I do this for you. So I'm never going to do anything that jeopardizes your viewing experience. Because the cameras have become so popular, some of the companies want to keep charging and charging, and I'm not sure how to go about it. So one of the ideas I had, and this is a far way off, was like maybe do a subscription-based thing. Like I said, maybe where it would be like $1 a month, $12 a year. But my idea was that if you said you couldn't afford it, it would still be free, or you could almost have a wall. I call it maybe the Underdog Institute, and people could sponsor. Like I could buy a $500 gift credit and sponsor it. I mean, clearly for schools or anyone. Yeah, so that was my idea. I really don't like ads. I don't know how people feel about advertisements. What I really cherish about our site is the purity. But we're going to figure something out, and I wouldn't do it without some feedback. We are, like I said, I'm a steward of the public, but that was my idea, was to make it really inexpensive, to still have part of it all be free, and then the idea being that like other people could sponsor other people. But I'm a softie at the end of the day. If someone really needed to get on and kind of, you're going to watch them no matter what. What I don't want is corporate sponsors trying to influence you. What I want us all to be able to do is celebrate the purity of nature together. So we're way off from that. But if anyone has any suggestions, I don't know, or maybe we should sell "Dog Bless You" t-shirts or something. I don't know. I try to keep it really pure, but I'm happy someone brought that up, because it's not an issue yet, but if people have suggestions, I'd love to hear it.
People are agreeing with you regarding ads. They like that you've kept it pure.
Yeah.
Laranor has an interesting question. If you could be any kind of animal other than a human, what would you be and why?
Laranor, that's not fair. I'd be like a hybrid of many. I mean, clearly I got some big dog and bear in me. I mean, that's why I relate to the brown bear and the polar bear. Lately, I don't know if anyone else does this, but I get up in the middle of the night, I'm starving, and I keep raiding my refrigerator, and I feel like I'm just like a big grizzly bear that's ransacking the fridge. So I got the claws, and I got bear in me. From the ocean, dolphin or whale, without doubt. I mean, I just love dolphin and whales. So I'm part bear, part dolphin, a little golden retriever, and I'm definitely not good looking enough, but I'd like to have some tiger or lion if I could. I'm probably more like an orangutan meets a jackass, but those are my fantasy creatures. I think that's more my blend, but if I had my way, it'd be bear, dolphin or whale, lion, and I'll take a little gorilla too while we're at it. If I'm allowed to have my choices.
It's an impressive combo, Charlie. Someone's wondering if you have any new movies on the horizon that you're going to create.
Well, the movie situation is really interesting because there's like hundreds of movies, and I've never really known how to share them at Explore. There's so many that I want to bring out. I mean, just talking out loud, I'm thinking it would be fun once a month. Maybe we all do a movie night where we share a movie online, and then we could do question and answer just like this. And we could bring them out. And there are like a lot of movies I haven't even put on the website yet because I haven't really figured out how to share them with people. So, I almost have a backlog. A great one we did was 18 days going down the Grand Canyon on a raft. And what was unique about it was we went with 7 different tribes of Native American Indians, so you really see the Grand Canyon through an indigenous fold. So, I'm a filmmaker and storyteller by trade. I'm just trying to figure out how to share those stories with people.
Donna is wondering if there are other volunteer opportunities besides camera operation within Explore.org. What else can we do for Explore.org?
Well, the first thing you can always do, is just first enjoy Explore.org and share it with your friends. Because we're not a company that's going to be marketing our products, so it's all word of mouth. So already, just by doing that, you've done a lot. And again, you bring up a really good point. And so when we talk about a new website, it sounds like a board where if we're looking for volunteer work and internships, and vice versa, that would be great. If you have a certain interest, please write in and tell us what it is you would like to do, and let's see if we can work together.
Awesome. Ange has an interesting idea. She says she loves the Caption This Photo contest, and she's hoping that maybe a top prize could someday to win a chat with Charlie, do a Skype with Charlie. Is that something you do, Charlie?
I would love to. I really, this is the second time we've done this, and it's really nice to connect with people. I actually really, one of the things I miss is public speaking or speaking in schools or with anyone, because there's that thing. And so this is really kind of a unique, novel new thing. And I think it's a really nice suggestion if people are really serious. I forget, honestly, that people want to connect and talk. So I'm here. So it's my pleasure.
Catherine is interested in the idea of a gorilla cam. Would something like that be possible?
Well, again, I would love a gorilla cam. It's really difficult, the gorillas. I have a great contact. We did a great film, Craig Shawley of the Africa Wildlife Fund. And we've talked about it. the thing is, so again, the gorillas are nomadic. They move. They go from place to place or deep in the woods. So I don't know if it's feasible yet. But I'll keep you posted.
What's one place in the world that you haven't been yet that you'd like to go?
One place. Good question. There's a few that have eluded me. From a really exotic standpoint, I would love to. I don't know why, but I'd love to go to Mongolia. I've never been to Ireland. Someone just mentioned Norway with the Northern Lights. That's, I hear, just beautiful. That kind of Scandinavian tip of Europe, I've been very intrigued with. Let me think. So those are three.
Outer space.
Outer space. Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is Bolt Ranger Mike from Katmai National Park just showed up on chat.
Oh, wow.
Hi,
Hey.
Ranger Mike. He's wondering when you're coming back to Katmai. He wants to have you join him for a live chat from Brooks Camp.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely try to make that next year. This summer, I had my daughter, she came up to Katmai that first time, and I couldn't sell her and her friends on it. Kids are so much different. They're like, what? She still remembers when the bears walked by her. And I will definitely be back up there. That would be a hoot. One of the differences when people talk about, I always find so interesting as I look at the polar bear camera right now and the brown bears, is I think that the brown bear camera and Katmai and the work that you guys do is, I don't know. I think that might be the prettiest place on the planet. If Alaska is one of the great natural cathedrals of the world, and that makes the brown bear, the high sage, and the work that these rangers do, I guess keepers of this pristine temple. But what's so unique about Katmai is you're also seeing the celebration of life. Salmon spawning, bears feeding, mating, bald eagles, water raging. And so when you look at the polar bears, what I'm saying is, which are equally beautiful, it's so stark, and it's a different story. It's a story of survival, and how are we going to, as a collective group, come together and change our habits so we can preserve these animals. And that's why they're both, like North Pole, South Pole, they're in such opposites, but they're both so sacred. And I'm just so fortunate to be able to work with both of you, because I love these big bears, and I'd love to get out there. And thank you for all the work you do.
Charlie, if you were to dream, what would Explore look like in the next 5 years for you?
Oh, I'm going to ask you guys. That's a great question for our study group. What would Explore look like? I still like to think of us as Sesame Street for adults, so I just want it to be a place that's incredibly easy to use, to navigate, to be able to share the content, hopefully to be able to promote the voices of these great nonprofits that work. Clearly, it sounds like in today's world, you got to blend it with mobile. I wish that sometimes, especially with the live cams and the dog cameras, that we had a little bit more connection even with traditional TV, or that people would champion us more. So, for example, if someone like an Ellen or The View would say, oh, look, the bear right now, they're waiting for the ice to freeze, or they're mating, or there's a puppy litter. I would love if people could come in and help from a pure standpoint, not a manipulative standpoint, really like join us. And hopefully we're just doing some good. I was looking at some of this footage today. I'm looking at this polar bear right now and the brown bear. And one of the questions I asked myself is, with these live cams, we're recording a lot of it. But really my question is, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50 years from now, will this footage be really valuable? I mean, will people be able to look at this footage and say, look at, there are brown bears in the wild, or polar bears. And so hopefully this work, in addition to being entertaining, is really preserving and archiving what I consider some of the great natural cathedrals of the planet. And like I said, I mean, to me, these are like high sages. So, you know, hopefully the work will be pure and consistent, and we'll all have a relationship and we can tackle it. But I'd love to hear your notes again of what you'd like to see it as.
So we're having a few people say that they would love Dog Bless You t-shirts. And one person says, some of your Dog Bless You illustrations are so cool. I would love t-shirts in those styles, golden retriever or other endangered species. So maybe not just Dog Bless You shirts.
Okay. I'm really trying to figure out. Look, you know, I have a Dog Bless You junkie. I mean, look at, here's even my notepad right here. Dog Bless You. I got Dog Bless You mugs. I feel naked when I'm not wearing Dog Bless You, frankly. But, yeah. Dog Bless You. I mean, I was lucky. He just passed, but I didn't even say Dog Bless You. But we're trying to figure that out. It's, and I think that's definitely sounds like a goal, and it'd be a great way to raise some awareness for the causes. Is the merchandising. You know, if I had my way, I just send it to all of you right now. I love my Dog Bless You gear. I almost want to like walk over and show some new tees I just made. So we're working on it.
Tuppy Cat says, Charlie, you've mentioned your daughter a couple of times. Does your family want to get involved and explore too?
Well, I think my daughter, maybe she doesn't appreciate my work. She likes it. But maybe one day when she's older, you know, I'm not really too hip with her right now, so she thinks it's neat. She thinks it's neat, but and then my brothers and sisters, they're just really supportive, and they really love it.
Deborah wanted to say, I watched a whole group in chemotherapy brighten up when I told them to go to explore.org. The whole mood of the place changed, and people were so enthralled by the bears they forgot where they were.
Wow. That's, well, please, if you visit them again, tell them from me, through you, how much that means to me, and thank you, and that Explore is really a home for everyone. I try not to keep the site too busy because, you know, it's almost, if you look at today's web, if you look at Facebook, and I don't even know what's hip today, so it's Facebook and Google Hangouts, and back then it's MySpace. I look at them as like Shanghai and New York, and I like to think of us as an escape, a country house where people can come, put up their feet, sink a little deeper into life, and really we're just one big collective family that's all tied together through the web, so thank you.
Somebody would like to get the dogs into the cam view for a snapshot with you. If we can accomplish it, I don't know.
Oh, I could probably get Daphne. I don't know. You know, it's interesting. Courtney, who's sitting beside me, and my trusted, we don't really go by titles at Explore, but my social media guru, she has the Great Dane, and I don't know who else has a Great Dane, but they are like ladies. They have their own thing, you know. I can get that. Daphne! Here comes Lulu. I don't know if you can see her, but I don't know. Here's my dog. She's a ham, you know. Oh, this is a funny story with Daphne. I took my daughter this summer. We went on a little river rafting trip down Oregon, and I took Daphne, and the raft guy was like, "Oh my God, you're taking a Maltese?" But she loved it. We put a little life preserver on. Okay, there's too much fun here for the dogs. Go, Daphne.
Anne says, "Do you need a traveling partner, Charlie?"
Thank you. Maybe one day I probably will. So please. Yeah, I guess that could be under the suggestion board as well.
Somebody is asking if we can do another live chat after New Year's.
Oh, of course. I'm happy to chat
We should show a film to chat.
as much as people want to speak. I really enjoy it. I did like that idea. It would be fun to do like a more like screening of films, like have a movie session one time. But yes, we can chat again. And thank you for even wanting it.
And it looks like our connection is pretty slim, so maybe we should do some closing words and wrap it up.
Okay, I've been told to give closing words. So once again, my name is Charlie, and I guess I'm the founder of Explore. I was almost thinking about making a t-shirt today because there's so many different days. Explore, Pearls of the Planets, live cams, Dog Bless You, Unjustice. So we're really just a creative think tank here. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to reiterate this. We're just stewards of the public. We work for you. And so hearing your comments and feedback is really the currency of this website. And feel free to write us anytime. Tell us what you like, you don't like. And just looking forward to growing together. Thank you so much for spending this time today. Never stop learning.